welcome to my channel. So today's gonna be another Lori Vallow kind of update, just talking about some new things. I try to find new interesting facts, either about the people involved in the case or the case itself. So some things you may have heard before, some things maybe you haven't. So because of course there's many channels doing videos on this case, so there's bound to be some overlapping where we're finding the same information, which is fine. But first I want to ask you all, I don't know if you saw my last video, but at the end of the video I asked you guys to send me in maybe some interesting quarantine videos, like of yourself and your family. Like, what are you guys doing to occupy time? A video about anything, any of your quarantine experiences. Like, what are you doing to keep your sanity and to just pass time every day? I think it'd be cool to put a compilation of all you guys, just like one thing that you guys do, or if you want to share more than one thing, but at least maybe one thing that all of you guys are doing to pass time that's enjoyable or not, maybe not enjoyable. It could be bad experiences, just anything maybe to entertain us and to make us, it'll kind of bring us closer because it shows us that, you know, we're all in this together, you know, we're not alone, we're all trying to pass time and do things, and it might give other people ideas. Oh, okay, maybe I'll try that, you know, if there's games or just anything, or just any experiences, or like anything when you're out and about, like at a store. Actually, Brassy Rants gave me this idea in New Chapter Art. Her husband Joe and Shannon, they told me maybe it'd be interesting to ask you guys, what, like when you're out at stores, what do you see different? Or maybe not even at stores, just when you're out and about doing what you have to do. I guess most of the things that you're gonna probably go out for is to the store to buy food or to buy your necessities. So what are you noticing different, either out on the roads or in the stores? If maybe some of you guys could take pictures of certain things, maybe in stores that are different, or you could just share your experience of stuff you've noticed different in stores. Because I've noticed a few things. Like I noticed, well, for one thing, like every 10 minutes in the store, or maybe even sooner, they're reminding you about the social distance and to keep 6 feet away, and so they're constantly reminding you over the loudspeaker. And then they have a couple of stores I've been into, they have the shields, like the glass shields above, well, like the plexiglass. So yeah, it kind of protects you from the cashier. So they have the plexiglass. And then there's some places have like markings on the floor where you have to stand to be 6 feet away. You know, it's like stand here while you're waiting to be waited on, and there's like different markings on the floor that you have to stand on. Just things like that. Or if you just want to take a video when you're out of something interesting that you see that's different, that's not, you know, what you would normally see. It could be as little as like something that's maybe something that they carry, that maybe something that they never used to have a bunch of, that they have a bunch of. I don't know, anything interesting. Gosh, anything interesting would entertain us right now, you know, just to, because every state's different. Every state is, I mean, we're kind of all doing the social distancing, but you know, from state to state and country to country, there might be some different rules and different regulations and just different experiences. So I'd be interested to learn, you know, what you guys are experiencing in a different country or a different state, or even in the same state if you guys are in Ohio. Yeah, I just think it'd be interesting if you guys send me, or like I said, if you're, whatever you're doing at home. If you're having fun with your family, just take a little video. Maybe you're playing a game or just something to pass the time, and we'll share it, and I can make a compilation, and I just feel like it would help us all just feel like we're all in this together, you know, that we're not alone. So I don't know, yeah, hopefully. I haven't gotten any videos yet from people. A couple people said, yeah, I'll send you a video, but I haven't gotten any yet. So you could just email me a video. It could be just a short minute video, it could be a longer video, whatever you want. And depending on how many videos I get, it will depend on how many compilations I make. You know, if I get a bunch, I can make a few, and then I'll post it on my channel, and I think it could be kind of interesting to kind of share with each other, you know? Okay, so back to Lori here. So, there's not too much movement in the case. They rescheduled her April, what was it? Yeah, so they postponed her, no, it was supposed to be the 17th, wasn't it? I think her bond reduction hearing was supposed to be, I think, April 17th, I think. Either 16th or 17th, it was this week. And they postponed it to April 24th because of the coronavirus. There was this tabloid that released some false information that kind of got spread that she was going to get released Thursday. And I even read the article. I'm like, wait, what? Please tell me this is a joke. And I didn't report on it or make a video on it because I just wanted to get some confirmation that that was true. And because I only saw it in one article. The Sun produced it, did an article on it. And I'm glad I waited just to see if this was really true because something just didn't seem right. I mean, well, how can they release her? They just added the Attorney General and then they're going to release her for the coronavirus? Something just didn't sound right. And here it was. It was just a hoax, I guess. Some tabloid released it and it was wrong. That's not true. I mean, you see they actually postponed the hearing because of the coronavirus. So they didn't let her out early. They made her wait longer for her hearing. So, yeah. So that's that. And then what else do we got? So some of this stuff you guys might have already know, but some people maybe not. So, this is kind of interesting. Somebody did kind of gather some information on, just an overview on some information on Alex Cox, Lori's brother. So it says what we know about Alex Cox, right? Alex Cox is Lori Daybell's brother. He was born on January 18th, 1968. He served 90 days in jail for assaulting Joseph Ryan, which was Lori's ex-husband, the father of Tylee. Cox's best friend, Mary Tracy, said he seems obsessed with Lori's ex-husband, details of which were revealed in letters from his cell. So he was writing her letters, and I'll show you them. I put them, actually I showed them in one of my videos before, but I'll show you guys the letters again, where he was writing her letters about Joseph Ryan. So it says, Mary Tracy met Cox at a comedy club in Phoenix in 2006. Both did stand-up, and they became fast friends. Tracy remembers Cox telling her that he had to go to Austin, Texas in August 2007 to handle family affairs in the next year. However, Tracy learned that Cox pleaded guilty to assaulting Joseph Ryan, Lori's former husband. According to court documents, Cox tased Ryan twice and threatened to kill him. Cox was sentenced to 90 days in jail. He was really obsessed and almost fixated with this desire to get Joseph Ryan, said Tracy. Tracy said Cox sent her 4 letters, and in the letters he usually found a way to mention his ex-brother-in-law. Obsessed much? I mean, see, I think this kind of boils down to his weird relationship with Lori. It was almost like a romantic relationship. I mean, I'm not saying anything went on that was romantic because I have no idea. Maybe it did. But just certain things that you just see how he was with her didn't seem like a normal brother and sister relationship. It seemed like he was kind of obsessed with her. You know, just it was unhealthy, I feel like, for a brother and sister relationship. In my opinion, I know I don't know probably enough to say that, but the little that I did see and do know, it just seemed weird. So Tracy said Cox sent her 4 letters, and in the letters he usually found a way to mention his ex-brother-in-law. One letter excerpt read, "Do me a favor. Call Janice, ask her to put Joe's address on a postcard and his license plate number. I think it will be popular here." The Janice mentioned in the letter is Cox's mother, which I have some stuff that one of my subscribers sent me about Lori and Alex's parents. I don't know. I'm trying to dig and find a little bit more information. I haven't been able to find more, but I'll get into that after this real quick. Okay, so in another letter, Tracy said Cox wrote, "P.S. Can you get a picture from Lori of one of her ex-husbands and send it to me? Some of the guys would like to hang out with him." I mean, how weird is that? I mean, you know, he's saying that probably to kind of encode, meaning they want to probably hurt him, is what I'm guessing. He's going to give him the information and maybe pay him to do something to him, is what I'm thinking. So it says July 11, 2019, Alex called 911 to report that he had shot and killed Charles Vallow, Lori's former husband, in self-defense. September 8, 2019, last sighting of Tylee Ryan at Yellowstone National Park. She was there with her mother, Lori Vallow, and uncle Alex Cox, and her brother, J.J. Vallow. October 1st, 2019, Lori rents a storage unit. Surveillance video shows she visited the facility 9 times in October and November with a man who is thought to be her brother Alex Cox. East Idaho News said that man also visited 5 times by himself and once with another man. October 2nd, shooting outside home of the estranged husband of Lori's Vallow's niece, Melanie Boudreau. Brandon Boudreau reported that he was shot at by someone outside his home in Gilbert, Arizona. Police confirmed the shooter was in a car that was registered to Charles Vallow, and Boudreau believes the shooter was Alex Cox. And November 14, 2019, arrest of Vallow's niece, Melanie Boudreau. Melanie Boudreau was arrested at the home of her estranged husband's parents in American Fork, Utah, 270 miles from Rexburg. She reportedly had been driven there by Alex Cox and was pounding on the door, claiming she had a court order to get her children. She was booked into Utah County Jail on a criminal trespass charge with an enhancement of domestic violence. November 26, 2019, Rexburg Police Department performed a welfare on J.J. Vallow at the request of his grandparents, Kay and Larry Woodcock. Alex Cox lied to the officer and said J.J. was with his grandparents, Kay and Larry, but the detectives let him know they were the ones who ordered the welfare check. November 29th, 2019, Alex Cox marries Zulema Pastenes. He shows up at the Chapel of Love in Las Vegas with an Arizona woman who described herself as an emotion code practitioner. On the license, he indicates he will take her last name, which that's kind of weird. I talked about that in my one video, but I guess some people said it was kind of common with the Mormons for the men to take the last name, and then some other people said it was common. There's another group of people that it's common for the man to take the woman's last name. I never heard of that before, but I feel like there's something more sinister. There's like a reason that they did it that way that is somehow has to do with all of this. Just because. I don't know. I just have a feeling. So, December 12th, 2019, Alex Cox died at a home in Gilbert, Arizona of causes that have not yet been made public. The man who made the 911 call identified Cox as his mother's boyfriend, though Cox had been married for 2 weeks. So why didn't he know that it was his mother's husband? They didn't tell anybody? It's kind of weird. The letter that he wrote, I'll read you the letter again. I know I put it on one of my older videos or one of my previous videos, but I'll read it to you again. Now these are the letters that he wrote to his best friend Mary. And it mentions Joseph Ryan. There's only 2 of them actually. So it says, I apologize for the boyfriend joke. I couldn't make it work. It says, Mary, I think it's just supposed to say, Mary, would you do me a favor? Call Janice and ask her to put Joe's address on a postcard and his license plate number. I think it will be popular in here. So that's weird that he's asking his mom to do that and knowing that his mom will do that. So is his mom kind of involved in this evil plan too, that she would do something like that knowing his intention was to probably hurt Joe if not kill him? I mean, that's just wow. So it says no name, just address and plate number. Thanks. Okay, let's talk about me. We get to go outside for rec 1 hour a day 4 days a week. My back was bad for 2 weeks, so I didn't go out, but last week I went out and took my shirt off and I got burned, so I didn't go back out for 9 days. It's better now. And then another one that says P.S. Can you get a picture from Lori of one of her ex-husbands and send it to me? Some of the guys would like to hang out with him. Real talk. And then this is just something interesting. I mean, you guys may have seen this already, but it has her charges, and I kind of find them interesting, the dates, because of, well, I'll just read it for you. So it says, I won't read you the whole thing. I won't bore you with the whole thing. So it says the Madison County Prosecuting Attorney's Office have submitted, pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 3, the sworn affidavit of Detective Ron Ball of the Rexburg Police Department, who explains and alleges the defendant Lori Noreen Vallow, aka Lori Noreen Daybell, committed the following crimes. Count 1, desertion and non-support of children or spouse. A felony, punishment up to 14 years imprisonment and or up to $500 fine. That the defendant Lori Noreen Vallow, aka Lori Noreen Daybell, on or between the 23rd day of September 2019 and the 18th day of February 2020 in the county of Madison, state of Idaho, did desert a child under the age of 18 to wit JV who was dependent upon the defendant for care, education, or support with the intent to abandon JV. Count 2, desertion and non-support of children or spouse. a felony, Idaho Code 1840-401, punishment up to 14 years imprisonment and or up to a $500 fine. That's crazy that 14 years of imprisonment, but then only a $500 fine? It just doesn't seem like those, like that's kind of, they would go together. You think it would be like a way higher fine. I know it could be and, you know, but or, so you think it would just be a higher fine. But that the defendant Noreen Vallow, aka Noreen Daybell, on or between the 8th day of September 2019 and the 18th day of February 2020 in the county of Madison, state of Idaho, did desert a child under the age of 18 to wit TR, who is dependent upon the defendant for care, education, or support with the intent to abandon TR. So, where are they getting the 18th day of February? I understand that for JJ it was the 23rd of September because that's the day that they last saw him, but then both of them is from to the 18th day of February. So why? I'm trying to think what happened on the 18th day of February. So this is for Ty Lee, it's September 8th, which that was the last day anybody saw Ty Lee when they went to Yellowstone. But again, it's to the 18th day of February. So, or between. So basically between those dates. So I don't know why they picked the 18th day of February. Is that the day that was filed, maybe? Let me see. Oh yeah, it was okay, I'm silly. That's the day that this document was filed. So it's basically saying between present day till that day till the present day. So that answers that question. Okay, so let me finish this here. Count 3, resisting or obstructing an officer, a misdemeanor. Punishment up to 1 year in jail and or up to $1,000 fine. So why is that one only 1 year in jail, but the fine is doubled than the ones that were 14 years in jail? It was only a $500 fine. This one is and or up to $1,000 fine. I don't get how they determine the fines. Seems like it doesn't go, like it's not, there's no correlation between the crime and the fine, like how bad the crime is to the fine. You would think the worse the crime, the higher the fine, right? But the one that is punished for 14 years would probably be a worse crime, but it was only 500, and then this one is only 1 year. It's not as bad of a crime, but it's higher fine. Don't understand, but I guess I'm not a lawyer. I'm not. I don't know. I don't get. Let me know why that would be. If there's even a reason. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe they make these fines and there's really no rhyme or reason. Who knows? But okay. That the defendant Noreen Vallow, aka Noreen Daybell, on or about the 26th day of November 2019 in the county of Madison, state of Idaho, did willfully delay and or obstruct a public officer, to wit Lieutenant Ron Ball of the Rexburg Police Department, in the discharge of his office by giving false information regarding the whereabouts of child JV and, oh, I guess just JJ. So remember they came and they asked where the kid, where JJ was, and she said they were with a friend, Melanie Gibb, remember? And then she calls Melanie and basically asked Melanie to lie for her, and Melanie's like, no, I'm not gonna lie. So good job, Melanie, for doing the right thing, Okay, so that's that. And then I wanted to read you this email here. Ange B sent it to me. So shout out to Ange B, thank you. And I'm trying to dig a little and find some more information on Lori and Alex's parents, but I haven't found much yet. But she found a few things, so I'm going to read you that. And then I'm going to try to hopefully find more. So she said that she read that her parents have dodged the IRS, and further that her father, Barry Cox, did time in federal prison. He also has been practicing law without a license, claiming to be a lawyer. And actually there is documents to back that one up. I'll read to you in a minute and show you. So it says her mother, Janice, as it appears, is having her Social Security docked by the federal government for non-payment of taxes. I believe the information is documented. I'm going to look into all that and try to find that out, but she gives me some information, so I'm going to try to get some more information for you on that. But I want to read you what she did find, which is about Lori and Alex's father, Barry, pretending to be a lawyer. Okay, wait till you hear this. So yeah, like she said, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, where they think the laws don't pertain to them and they could do whatever they want, which is bullcrap. It looks like she learned from her parents. Okay, so this is what she found. So flyers left on doorsteps lead to cease and desist order of non-lawyer. Phoenix, November 16th, 2018, a judgment of default and cease and desist order was issued by Pinal County Superior Judge against Barry L. Cox for engaging in the unauthorized practice of law in Arizona. The order stems from a complaint filed by the State Bar of Arizona after Cox advertised estate planning services. A flyer reading estate planning documents was left on several Santan Valley residents' doorsteps listing a menu of services and identified Cox as Barry L. Cox, legal document writer. In its complaint, the bar asserted that offering estate planning services, identifying himself as a legal document writer, and using the Esquire designation, which Esquire is a term typically used in the United States to designate a person who may practice law. So he's using that in his title, like he practices law, which we know he doesn't. He doesn't have his license. But anyway, so he said, in using the Esquire designation for lawyers led the public to believe he was authorized to practice law in Arizona. The state bar found that Cox had never been authorized by the Arizona Supreme Court to engage in the practice of law in Arizona, nor certified as a legal document preparer. On November 9th, 2018, Barry L. Cox and any corporate or business entity owned, controlled, or operated by him was ordered to immediately and permanently cease and desist from engaging in the unauthorized practice of law in Arizona, and enjoined from using the designations lawyer, attorney at law, counselor at law, law office, JD, Esquire, or equivalent words. He must also pay for costs and expenses associated with the State Bar of Arizona's investigation. So, pretty interesting. Her own dad is freaking thinking he's above the law. So, yep, she learns from her parents. So if there's any truth to her mom basically trying to get out of paying taxes too, just thinking that they're, above the law. And I have a feeling that it probably didn't have anything to do with them not being able to afford to pay the taxes. It probably was more like, they just thought they were above the law. Like, I don't have to pay taxes. Because it looks like her dad was doing the same thing. And then pretending to be a lawyer. Oh, man. This family is just, the more I learn, the more I do not like them at all. And I just have a feeling that there's probably even more things that they've done. And like I said, I know we all have made mistakes. We've all done stupid things. But I just feel like a good person will do something and, they'll feel bad for doing it and maybe try their hardest not to repeat it if they don't have to. But it just seems like, I feel like they're just doing it because they think that they're above it, like that they could do it because they're like this entitlement or something. Just like Lori. Lori has that too. So I just feel like their motive isn't because it's a necessity, it's just because they just think that it's owed to them, Yep, guys, I found it. So after I was done recording this video, I started doing a little more research and I found the documents about her mom not paying taxes. And I was right. It's because she feels like, let me just read you the details, okay? So, order granting motion to dismiss and denying as moot plaintiff's request for directed verdict and summary judgment. It says on January 3rd, 2017, pro se plaintiff Janice L. Cox filed a complaint against the United States of America, the Internal Revenue Service, Revenue Officer Kelly Gurney, the Department of Justice Civil Tax Division, Tax Inspector General Tax Administration, the United States Senate, and the United States House of Representatives. Collectively, defendant on March 14, 2017, defendant filed a motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction and failure to state a plausible claim for relief. ECF number 20, and on May 11, 2017, plaintiff filed a request for directive verdict and summary judgment. ECF number 31, based on the following, the court grants defendant's motion to dismiss and denies plaintiff's request for directive verdict and summary judgment as moot. Here's the background. A. Factual background. As alleged in the complaint, on June 1st, 2016, IRS Revenue Officer Gurney issued a notice of levy on plaintiff's Social Security income. The notice of levy was issued because of a $423,856.38 debt that plaintiff allegedly owed as of July 1st, 2016 for unpaid income taxes for tax periods 2001 to 2010. So it looks like she didn't pay her taxes for 10 years? Wow. Okay, so just wait till you hear her complaint here. Oh my gosh. Like mother, like daughter. The apple definitely didn't fall far from the tree here. Okay, so it says, okay, I'm going to skip some of this, the notice of levy, some of this, okay, so it says, for Gurney correspondence, ECF number 1 through 6, the complaint also references $60,000 that was fraudulently confiscated by the IRS and DOJ, the IRS seizure of plaintiff's home in San Antonio, Texas in 2008, and the subsequent sale of that home for $249,000 at an IRS auction. Aside from those brief factual allegations, the nearly 80-page complaint is primarily devoted to explaining plaintiff's belief that the entire IRS tax assessment and collection scheme is illegal, and that she is immune from having to pay taxes. To support her position, the complaint asserts numerous opinions, assumptions, conclusory allegations, and pronouncements as facts, and interspersed throughout the complaint are references to a host of federal statutes and regulations that purportedly provide authority for plaintiff's challenge to the overall tax system, and or that defendant has violated in furtherance of the alleged illegal tax assessment and collection scheme. Plaintiff seeks injunctive relief requiring the IRS to revoke the levy and to stop continued collection efforts. 2. Damages of $100,000 for pain and suffering, $10,000 for court costs and legal research, an additional unspecified compensatory damages, a refund of $60,000 that was fraudulently confiscated by the IRS and DOJ, a refund of $249,000 for her house in San Antonio, Texas, that was seized in February 2008 and sold at IRS auction, and prosecution of the criminal acts alleged in the complaint. Procedural background. Plaintiff filed her complaint on January 3, 2017. ECF number 1 on March 10, 2017. Plaintiff filed a first addendum to complaint. ECF number 18 on March 14, 2017. Defendants filed the instant motion to dismiss. ECF number 20 on March 30th, 2017, plaintiff filed a document titled Plaintiff's Opposition Memorandum, Motion to Strike, Motion for Summary Judgment, Motion for Directed Verdict. On March 31st, 2017, this court denied the motion to strike and denied without prejudice the motions for summary judgment and directed verdict. The March 31st order. On April 3rd, 2017, plaintiff filed a document titled Evidence and Proof in support of her motion to strike and motions for summary judgment and directed verdict. The court construed this document as a motion for reconsideration of the March 31st order and denied reconsideration on April 4th, 2017. On March 6th, 2017, the government filed its reply. Plaintiff filed an additional memorandum in opposition on April 10th, 2017. On April 17, 2017, plaintiff filed a response to the government's reply and to this court's April 4th order. And on May 11th, plaintiff filed a request for directive verdict and summary judgment. Pursuant to Local Rule 7.2, the court finds these matters suitable for disposition without a hearing. Standards of review. Rule 12, Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, authorizes a court to dismiss claims over which it lacks proper subject matter jurisdiction. Federal Rule of Civil Procedure authorizes a court to dismiss claims over which it lacks proper subject matter jurisdiction. The moving party should prevail. Motion to dismiss only if the material jurisdictional facts are not in dispute and the moving party is entitled to prevail as a matter of law. I'm going to skip a couple things here. Just skip some of this stuff, but it's a lot of like law talk that... Let's see. Federal Rule of Civil Procedure permits a motion to dismiss for failure to state
a claim upon which relief can be granted. A dismissal is proper when there is either a lack of cognizable legal theory or the absence of sufficient facts alleged. So basically saying like she doesn't, I mean, all her complaints and all her objections, I mean, there's nothing to back it up here. So basically, yeah, she didn't win all, I mean, they were against everything that she tried to bring forth. So you guys could, I'll just put these up real quick if you guys do want to read through them, and then you could just pause and read them. I'm not going to read all of this just because it's a lot of people probably don't want me, might be bored for me to read every little thing when basically it's just denying everything she asked for, because they're saying there's no facts to back it up, there's no legal claim. I mean, there's nothing that she can do. She was in the wrong, you know. So let me read you this one part though, and then like I said, the rest I'll just, you know what, I'll just attach these at the end, and then you guys could, at the end of the video, if you want to read it all, you guys could just pause on each one and then read it if you want to read all the details. But I just wanted to read this one part. Frivolous claims. Many of plaintiff's claims are based on the underlying premise that she is immune from paying taxes. Numerous courts have rejected this frivolous premise, citing cases rejecting the frivolous argument that wages are not taxable income and that the income tax applies only to the federal government and its employees. This court long ago rejected the theory that paying federal taxes is voluntary as patently frivolous, noting that plaintiff's argument that compensation received from a private employer is not subject to income tax has been rejected as frivolous by courts numerous times. Rejecting arguments that payments of taxes is voluntary and wages are not income is frivolous. To the extent plaintiff's claims are based on the frivolous premise, the court finds that granting leave to amend would be futile. Accordingly, plaintiff's claims based on the frivolous premise that she is immune from paying income tax are dismissed without leave to amend. Yeah, wow, how crazy. And then I found another one. Years 1988, 89, and 90, they also didn't pay their taxes. Janice and Barry Cox both. What the heck? Judgment will be entered in favor of the United States against defendants Barry Cox and Janice Cox on the United States tax assessments for tax years 1988, 89, and 90 in the amount of $335,518, plus interest and statutory additions from December 31st, 2004 until unpaid, less credit for the restitution payment. Oh my gosh, so they've been doing this like for their whole life, it seems like. They really think they're above paying taxes. So we all have to pay taxes, but they don't have to. They're above it, right? Wow. Seems like, yeah, they've been doing this for a long time. They've been in trouble with the IRS for a while. Okay, so I'm going to get back into the video, and I'll leave all those documents at the end if you want to take a look at them.
Okay, so another thing I just want to read to you real quick is I wanted to read, well, I found this a while back, but I never put it in a video, so I don't know, some of you guys might have already seen this, but I'll read it to you and show it to you. It's so Chad is trying to contact somebody about a property in Hawaii, right? So he says, we are interested in seeing this property. Would the owners be interested in leasing this property to a clean couple with no pets or children? Please let us know, thank you. No children, freaking, I know all of Chad's children are grown, but Lori has JJ and Tylee. I know Tylee was 17, so, I mean, in another year, she could basically be on her own, but JJ was only seven, that's a child, so obviously they already looked at it like, she doesn't have any kids. Why is that? I mean, that's just messed up. I mean, that's very telling right there to say that they don't have any kids. When, if the kids are okay, then where would they be for the rest of, I mean, basically until they're 18. I mean, who would they be staying with if they're not going to be staying with Chad and Lori in this house in Hawaii, which they probably would have stayed at if Lori didn't get arrested, right? So who were the kids going to stay with? Obviously not them, so that just, it makes you think that the kids are no longer with us. I mean, if you think about it, because who's going to just sit there and hide out kids forever? I mean, and for them to say they don't have any kids, it just makes you think, yeah, that they're just, They did something to him. They really did. I mean, that's what I'm feeling. Like I said, I used to have hope, and I used to I just had this feeling that they were okay for a long time, and now with every new thing I learn, it's just like, oh, it just keeps like adding up to they're not here anymore. They're not here. They did something to them, and it's heartbreaking. It really is. I mean, I just wonder what they did. It's just horrible. Ugh, it just makes me sick when I think about it. Okay, so that's that. Oh, another thing I wanted to read is, it's her and Joe kind of emailing each other back and forth about child support and stuff like that. So I'll read you their emails back and forth. It's a few emails. It's from April 13th, 2011. So Joe writes Lori. So he writes, "Hi Lori, I was surprised you didn't have this, but want to get it to you. It's the official audit done with my accounting financial experts. This amount is $9,218 overpaid. Some of this includes payments I made directly to Loretto per Judge Livingston's orders that did not get credited to OAG records. Let's be fair and end the litigation once and for all. Reliving this only stirs emotions that are not good for us, and certainly not good for Ty Lee. We made a contract with each other that I offered in the absolute best interest in Ty Lee to end litigation once and for all. To do this, I gained nothing, since the audit is what I already paid. And I took on all the risks to move to Phoenix that resulted so far in 40% reduction of my earnings. By withdrawing my motion to enforce that waived the Travis Company standing orders violated numerous times, it protected Ty Lee from having to go back and forth as the case continued, even to this day. This was your end of the agreement that I hope you would honor. As I mentioned, President Palmer knows without a doubt I am doing everything I can to end this for Ty Lee. He is just perplexed you would not. If you're saying Judy entered the audit without you knowing or agreeing, this should be brought up so we can move this forward. If Judy did enter without your consent, that quite frankly sounds a bit dicey to me. Please let me know how you would want to handle and settle this once and for all. Regards, Joe." Okay, so then it looks like maybe this is Lawyer Keith. I'm not sure this one. It says on the Friday of the motion for continuance for trial on Monday without Laura, Judy called her several times and was talking to her. The last time for a long time. She had the paper she later lost to refer to when talking to Lori. Then she announced in open court that she had the authority to consent for Lori. Anything else is BS. Okay, so that's that. So that was, I guess, the response, because it came right after his email. So now Lori responds to Joe's email. She sends Joe the audit. She says, "Hi Joe," with the link to the audit. "Here's the audit we discussed." Then it says, "As discussed, I've looked over the audit you sent several times. I do not know who provided it or what records they were going by, but the negative numbers do not even add up correctly. Not only that, but against my records, I found it completely inaccurate. With that said, I am aware that you will not feel the same, and I can agree to disagree. According to my records, I owe $0, but you seem to be several months behind on paying for Ty Lee, over $8,000. It seems to me that for the past 6 years, it has been your goal and intention to not be obligated to pay child support for Ty Lee. I find that to be sad. As a father, I would think that providing for Ty Lee would be your first obligation. Ty Lee is worth everything." Yeah, if she's worth everything, then come on, what did you do with her, Lori? I mean, obviously, well, where is she then if she's worth everything but her own freaking life? But anyway, she is smart and talented and beautiful, and I'm not sure what your intentions are. To get back at me, or you really feel you don't owe Ty Lee anything? And yeah, that's another thing. I feel like this is all about the money. It's not because she cares so much about Ty Lee. I bet you she freaking took the child support and didn't even probably spend it on Ty Lee. Maybe a little bit, but she probably used it a lot on herself. I mean, she's freaking cashing in their checks. Now that they've been gone, she's been getting JJ's Social Security checks, and I don't know if Ty Lee was getting any checks, but she's been taking their money, and they're not getting it. She's been getting the checks. I mean, come on. So you really are only hurting Ty Lee, and I hope that you'll find it in you to sacrifice for your daughter and do the right thing to resolve this. Sacrifice for your daughter, yeah, okay. So where's your sacrifices? I mean, it just makes me so mad that she's just so, the fact that she's pretending that she cares so much about Ty Lee and putting him down for not paying. He probably knew that she wasn't giving her the money. He probably was reluctant to pay her all this because he probably knew how she was and that it really wasn't for Ty Lee. It's just sad when child support, I feel like somehow they should assure that that money goes for the child, like for stuff for the child, because so many times the mother uses, I guess I shouldn't just say the mother, but child support in general, they use the money for themselves and they don't actually spend it on the kid. They might spend very little on the kid and they use it for their own, like, just selfish stuff, you know, not for the needs of, like, not for food, not for clothes, for the kid, for their child, just not for the kid. It's just, how many times did that happen? I bet that the moms, they don't use that money and then the poor kids are suffering and it's supposed to be for the kids. And half the time the dads are broke because they're trying to, I mean, child support can get expensive, and if you're middle class, they take like a big chunk of your, well, any class. So I'm just saying, like, I feel like it would probably be the hardest on the middle class because, I don't know, how the percentage of what they take, I mean, it's probably hard on any class, but I'm just saying the percentage, they take a percentage of what you make, and sometimes persons can barely make ends meet anyway, but a big chunk's going to child support, and that's all good if that money was actually going to the child and the mother or father wasn't just spending it on, like, the mother or father wasn't just spending it on themselves, like getting their nails done, their hair done, just stupid selfish things that happen all the time. I've seen it happen and it breaks my heart because not only is the child is sacrificing, the father is, half the time the father can't afford sometimes the large amount of child support that they would have to pay. I mean, because times are hard right now, so when a big percentage of your pay, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck, a big percentage is going out on child support, and then it's not even going to the child. Like, it would be all good if it was actually going for the child, like whatever the child's needs are, and then the extra, if there is extra money, then put it for like a college fund or for a car or for the future of the child, but make it go to the child. Yeah, I don't know. That just makes me mad because it's just, take advantage of it. I feel like people take advantage of that, and it's just not fair. I mean, I know it's not fair for a father or someone not to pay child support if it's their child. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying then that money should go to the child or for the child in some way. It shouldn't go for getting your nails done, your hair done, clothes for the mother. I mean, it just, unless if it's maybe clothes because they need clothes, they need that to work, to make the money to support the kid. If somehow it's benefiting the child, but I mean, I just feel like that they're taking advantage of it. They really are. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. My point is that I don't believe that Lori was so concerned about getting this money for Ty Lee. It was for herself. And I bet you Joseph knew how Lori was and probably knew that, gosh, Ty Lee's not getting this. It's not him. It wasn't him, like, not caring about Ty Lee by not paying it, because he probably knew that even if he did pay it, it wasn't going to benefit Ty Lee. Lori was going to spend it on whatever she wanted to spend it on. So it's not him, like, not caring about Ty Lee by not paying it, because Ty Lee probably wouldn't have benefited at all by him paying it, if that makes sense. But I just wish there was a way to assure that money, when they pay the child support, that to assure that it goes to the child. I mean, couldn't they just put it like on some kind of card where somehow it limited what you could use it on? You know how, like, they do, like, food stamps. You have to, you can only get food, you know, and you can't get certain products. You can't get, like, go out to dinner, like a warm meal. You have to get, like, groceries. So couldn't the child support go on a card where certain things are, I mean, basically it's limited, and so it's the mother can't just go spend it on herself or the father, you know? They should try to figure out a way to do that because it just doesn't seem fair. How many times did that happen?
Okay, so I want to clear something up. I didn't mean that I have a problem with anybody getting their nails done or the hair done. That's totally fine. Get your nails done, get your hair done. I'm talking about more people that make their kids go without, but yet they still do this extra stuff, and then they deprive their kids of stuff that they need, that they should have. So they basically don't have money to get the kids the necessities, so they're getting a child support check, but then they use that money to get their nails done and get their hair done and do stuff that's not a necessity, and then make the household go without food and just go without the basic necessities because they spend it on this other stuff that is not important. It's not what it should be spent on. If you have the extra money to do it, then yeah, go for it. If it's your money, I mean, you're working and you get child support and you have the extra money, that's fine. But I've seen it so many times where the kids sacrifice and they don't have the extra money, yet they'll go spend money on this stuff that is just not something they should be spending the child support check on when they need it for the necessities, like the major things. And so then the child is just being deprived. That's all I meant. I know that might have came out wrong, because I don't have a problem with getting your nails done, your hair done. My mom gets her hair done like once a month, and her nails done sometimes. My sister used to get her nails done. I mean, my grandma gets her hair done every week. Well, she used to, but so I don't have a problem with that. So I hope that could have came out a little bit harsh and could have kind of got misunderstood. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand kind of where I was coming from when I said that. So, okay, let's get back to the video.
So she says, "You really are only hurting Tylee, and I hope that you will find it in you to sacrifice for your daughter and do the right thing to resolve this." No, he's not hurting Tylee. He's only hurting you, Lori, because you know you wouldn't have spent it on her. So it says, "So please let me know when you have come up with an alternate solution. Sincerely, Lori." And then, so he responds, "Hi, Lori. Please provide your audit records so we can compare against the pro-doc version. I know I was ordered to pay Dr. Loretto for you outside of CSDU, plus pay normal child support through CSDU. I believe our records are per the AG audit. However, I can confirm. Regards, Joseph." So that's that. So I think that's all I have for you on this video. So yeah, please don't forget to send me a video of your quarantine experiences, or just, like I said, any differences you see when you're out shopping. Like I said, don't forget, just email me. Here's my email address. I'll put a little description. It's always in my description of my videos, and every one of my videos I have it in the description of my email. So, and it's also on my about section and stuff. So yeah, just email me, and just email me a video. It could just be a short clip, or it could be a long clip, whatever you want. I think it'd be a fun way to just make us all kind of feel together, you know? Because I mean, obviously we physically can't be together, but this could be a way to just make us feel like we are, you know? So hopefully you guys are all doing good. You guys are keeping me going here, you know? It's keeping my mind occupied. That's one thing that I'm doing to make my time go and keep my mind occupied, is making these videos, recording, editing, reading your comments, doing the research. It's just keeping my mind occupied, because I mean, I suffer from pretty bad anxiety at times, and my panic attacks and stuff, so it just helps to keep my mind off of everything and just to keep it occupied doing other stuff. So this is one thing that does help. So you guys, thank you for helping and watching my videos, so I have somebody to make videos for to watch, and just for commenting. So I mean, I always look forward to reading the comments and responding and seeing what you guys think and seeing how you guys are. So it's just, you guys have helped me along this crazy time. So you guys have helped me keep positive and keep smiling and just feeling good. And so I hope you guys are all feeling good. And I don't know, I just want to, maybe I'll think of a way to pay you guys back and to show you guys more appreciation. I know I did that giveaway, but I want to do something else just for since I know there's a lot of you guys struggling out there, so maybe I'll do another giveaway soon. I gotta think of how I could, maybe we could play a game or somehow. Oh, I just thought of it. The videos, that's perfect. Send me your quarantine videos and I'll pick either, I could do it randomly or I could pick my favorite one. But then I feel bad. I feel like if I pick my favorite one, then it's just like I just feel bad having to choose one over the other. Like I'll just feel like, I don't know, because I don't want to have to pick, but I don't know how I'm going to pick the winner. Either I could do it randomly. Let me know if you think it's, should I pick my favorite? If you guys promise not to be upset, I mean, who I picked the winner of. But see, that's going to be hard because I know I'm going to like all of them, and I'm very indecisive. I'm a Libra, and indecisiveness is my middle name. No, I can't ever make a decision, and I'll struggle with that. So maybe I could ask one of my family members to either pick their favorite, or somehow I could ask the audience to pick their favorite and see who gets the most votes. I don't know. Help me think of a way that we could pick the winner. Maybe I could have like a first place winner, a second, and a third place. Something like that. But like I said, either I could have my family try to pick one, I could do a random drawing, or I could have you guys vote on it somehow. I'm trying to think what would be the best way. Like, I can make the compilation of all of them, and if it's more than one video, because I get a bunch, or I could just make it into one long one, or I can make a couple, but then I could have you guys vote under the comments to tell me who your favorite is, and then add them up and see who gets the most votes, or I don't know. If you guys have any ideas how I could pick the winners, but I think that's a good idea. So it'll give you guys motivation to send me in your videos, because there's a prize and I don't know what it'll be yet. Let me think about that, because I just came up with it as I'm talking right now. But yeah, so get your videos in and I'll think of prizes, first, second, and third prize, and then yeah, that'll be fun. Like I said, it'll give you motivation to get that camera out, press record, and show us a little bit of your life these days in this crazy time. So yeah, I'll look forward to watching them. But just so you know, I'm going to put them on a compilation video and upload it to my YouTube channel. So make sure you're okay with whatever you record being on my YouTube channel on the video. But okay, yeah. Hopefully you guys are all doing good, and I look forward to watching your videos. Send them in soon. And yeah, take care, everybody. Bye.